All right. Um, yeah, we are back in business. It's been quite some time, though. And I am still probably a dozen or so episodes behind, so, yeah, I've made a number of promises that I definitely did not keep. But that's not important right now. What's important is this is the 8th episode, and you can read, you know exactly what this is. Halo 2. I actually beat 2 and 3 this past weekend, so you're going to be getting a double feature this week. I mean, I also wasn't planning on doing this tonight at all, but, I decided I have nothing better to do, so why the hell not? So anyway, I'm going to get a little bit confused because, to be totally honest, the plots of Halo 2 and 3 are starting to blend together in my head since I beat them literally right next to each other, so I'm also exhausted because I totally didn't stay up till 3 a.m. trying to beat 3, but again, not important. I also sound a little weird because I have been sick for the last week, so that's fun, but also not important, so on to 2. I said last time that I was iffy on the first game, better than the TV show, that I'd rather not ever mention again, but yeah, I still thought the first game was repetitive in terms of its level design, but this game improves everything. Level design, better. Story, better. Gunplay, better. I mean, you can dual wield. I mean, come on, guys. Who could not want to go around dual wielding a submachine gun and a plasma rifle? So, and a hell of a lot more vehicles, which you'll see later in this, probably, assuming this is a reasonably length video and not under 5 minutes like the last, several of them. Or, actually, no, this is the 8th one, because there was another one that I didn't do. You know what I mean. Assuming there's even anyone watching this. But no one is, so that's not important. But, yeah, the vehicle lineup, significantly better, since the first game's vehicle lineup was Warthog, Ghost, Banshee, and that's it if I'm not mistaken. This game, however, added the Scorpion tank and the... Actually, what else did it add? I can't remember. I think that might have been it. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please. Anyway, on to the plot, since that is the most important part. So it opens, after the first game. Well, obviously it's a sequel. That's how sequels work, most of the time anyway. But, so, Chief is on board, this space station above Earth. Covenant invades it, you shoot them, then you throw a bomb into space at a Covenant ship, and then you land on the other ship, leading to tons of comedic dialogue from one Sergeant Johnson. And then you land on Earth, you go to this city, I don't know what city it is, but it's somewhere on Earth, I guess. You get to shoot aliens, the usual. And then you get to drive a tank on a highway, because who doesn't love to go on a highway massacring aliens in a tank? So, yeah, you go commit alien genocide on a highway on Earth in a tank, then you get to ride a Ghost and shoot, what are they called? The Covenant transport thingies that I forget the names of. And then... What the hell am I thinking? I don't know what I'm thinking. Okay, after the Earth stuff, then, good old, we introduce another playable character. This game has not one, but 2 playable characters. Chief, of course, and the Arbiter, who, basically, he's an elite, the highest ranking elite in the Covenant, and he's going after these heretic people, and the heretic... you go through the heretic base, you shoot some stuff, you fly a Banshee for a little bit, you shoot some more stuff, then you find the heretic leader, who's all like, yeah, the prophets, they're lying to you. But, of course, Arby here is like, no, you're stupid, and he kills the heretic leader, and then the heretic leader, I don't know, the heretic leader's dead. What am I talking about? I'm a fucking idiot, but we know this already. So the heretic leader is dead, and the arbiter then goes back to the prophets, but at the same time, Chief's story, he is chasing down the prophet of regret, voiced by one Robin Atkin Downs, aka the medic from Team Fortress 2. Eventually we chase him to, I don't know where we chased him to. I'm forgetting half this plot. I need to figure out what I'm talking about before I make these videos, don't I? I'll do better tomorrow. Or whenever I do Halo 3. But as I was saying, so there's a boss fight with the Prophet of Regret. He's flying his hover chair. His hover chair is ray shielded, and the armrests on the hover chair, they double as rocket launchers. But then you jump onto Prophet of Regret's hover chair and you beat the ever-loving shit out of him. And then he fucking dies. And then, in a cutscene, the Prophet of Mercy also dies. And the Prophet of Truth's just like, I don't care. So then they're like, let's go on the great journey. So they get a big Forerunner ship and they go on to another Halo ring. And then the final fight is against a brute because the prophets set up they orchestrated a civil war between the elites and the brutes. So basically, there's two factions. There's the elites, the elites, grunts and hunters versus the brutes and the jackals, except that changes in 3 and now everyone's bad except for the elites for some reason. But we're not talking about 3. So the final fight's against a brute named Tartarus, who's all like, we need to follow the prophet's wishes, and then the elite's just, not elite, the arbiter's just like, but the elite, the prophet, he's actually lying to you, and he's going to wipe out all life in the entire universe because, I don't know, because he wants to. So then the arbiter fucking kills Tartarus. It's not even a cutscene. They just kill him in the boss fight, and then Chief isn't even playable in the final mission because Chief is on a ship. He's on Truth's ship that crashes on Earth, but that doesn't happen till 3. But he's on Truth's ship, and then that officer guy, that supreme officer guy whose name I can't name or title I cannot recall in the slightest. So he shows up. And then the officer guy is just like, Master Chief, you mind telling me what you're doing on that ship? And then Master Chief obviously responds with, Sir, finishing this fight. And then the game fucking ends. Also, Cortana ends up stranded on the Halo ring. That's a big plot point in 3. And also, they meet the Gravemind, who is big and bad and a flood person, and I should also mention the generic brutes very much sound like Heavy from Team Fortress 2, but I haven't actually researched that, so I don't know if they are voiced by the same guy, but they very well could be. But, I would say more, but I have a headache and also can't remember shit about the details of the plot, so I'm just going to end this off here and do a review for 3 tomorrow. Maybe. You know what? However long this was, no one wants to hear it, so, how do I end this? I'm going to end this by saying, go the fuck home.